And I'd take up to Kilcummin.
Hold on, did you ever drink?
Never.
How?
Well, his father drank if he didn't, and his brother John.
My father, God rest his soul, he drank every fucking thing in the farm. We're the best farm of land in Kilgarvan, 52 acres of the finest of land. My neighbour Michael have it now. And I can tell you something
Tis the best.
But my son, Michael, if my mother was alive today, God rest her soul, I don't know how she held on to first. The bailiffs came to our farmers with, the bailiffs, because my father drank, you had to pay rent at him and rates it with.
Yeah.
He drank the fucking rent and the bailiffs arrived, which he survived. But anyway, there'd be no, the farm and she had on to it, 52 acres. My neighbour have it now, Michael Randles. My dear man, if my mother was alive, whenever she'd get it, she'd give him a gold medal to Michael. Yes. You'll see it.
Good farmer.
It's the finest layout by him. Where his animals are feeding, you can like this kitchen here, it's as clean as a whistle. You can go down and he can go down to Sunday clothes and feed all his animals as clean. What document? Look at the farm and land. He got rid of all those ditches, he would love the hedges parted. If my mother was alive today, I taught himself, and maybe I haven't taught him, my mother would give him a gold medal. My father didn't give that about farming. My mother often taught us, my father never took drink until he was 29 years of age.
Jeez.
I actually drank with myself when I started off.
You didn't buy something else, yeah? And did you drink with Johnny? He said
I did, your brother.
He said it'd be working. He said it'd be working. You grown ranchers drinking.
Very well. But did you ever hear these great stories about Johnny as a character? About he used to drive our machine and everything, but this time there was some part of the machine broke. So it was sent away to Germany for the machine. It was to be arrived at Cork Airport by plane. So John took off one morning at 4 o'clock. And he going into his Cork Airport, didn't the driver of the plane see him. So he slowed down the plane and he shouted out, "Hello, John Randles from Kilgarvan." "I am," said John. And he handed it out, he left it out on the ground, the part of the plane, and he rose up the plane and went away again. And John came home with his part and he fixed the machine. Couldn't we do that?
Well, John, in my view, if he told her that, he was John blind drunk and he told her that. And he was after a nightmare or something like that.
And another time, he was walking in Snee with the machine and going back around our house. Jesus went the road all fresh, and there was no way he could drive. So he took off his clothes, he jumped into the river route there and swam back to Snee. And drove the machine all day. And I think someone went for him in the evening and brought him home. He was an all-round man.
We come home from school this day home from school. And Jesus Christ above in heaven, there was a fucking sow brought into the kitchen. Right? A sow. The front door was there and the back door was there. And the Joyce and the daddy had us to hang the meat. These sticks were nailed on by him, right? And they were nailed on up here along, up in the centre of the wall, and that's it. And the open fireplace was here for the cook. There was no gas net here. And he'd sheeted with zinc, put along maybe up this height, and this fucking sow. The sow is a sheep heap. Lots of people in the city told us it was a sheep heap were having banners, right? And that sow was inside in there for 3 weeks. And it was up, and we'd put up what was called the parlour. The parlour that it was only used one every 5 years for the station. For the station, yes. That's right. That's a place. And then my mother tried to cook for 7 children, and these fucking sows shitting and pissing, and the banners inside. No wonder there was TB all over the fucking country. 3 weeks inside in the kitchen. And when they were turned out, my mother we didn't have any wheelbarrow, and she cleaned all this shit and washing the floor. I know the name of the Almighty God above in heaven that we survived. And she wouldn't have, she wouldn't know if it hadn't it hadn't another bloody house. The fucking sow brought into the kitchen, and 7 young children tried to survive with this sow shitting and pissing inside the place. Today, in modern times, if I knocked on the door and someone come out to her,
they wouldn't let him in.
Then you could do shift those hands in your head. What the name I got for before, in my time, you could go into every house. No, you couldn't go in the house at all. And the people that live in the house now, the most houses, they're getting off their shoes at the door to go into the bloody house. There's no soap pickings in their houses.
What's squirting, Lango?
Squirting, calling to house.
Young people don't say it again.
People like came up here to chatty and talking now, and there were squirting houses. Take Mangerton above, for instance, Dan Jim's house above in Mangerton, right? There was a dancing house every weekend. There was a squirting house up there. They be dance there every weekend above in Pat Jim's. That was the glen there. They had their own glen, their own business up.
Neighbours coming together.
Yeah, exactly. And the cars at the time, the different, like in Shees, the glen above, they had their own business up there. They had a dance up there before they put up a dance hall. You're just creating houses. And you see, it worked well for some people. Because the creating houses would have been the house, it'd be one or two, it would be one each glen. But then people would go and they'd cut the turf every year, they'd have so much turf. And these fellas would be totally for ride they had. Of course, they're different to now. There was no work in the morning, they got to be the small farmers. They'd be there playing cars until the small hours in the morning, and the fine big turf fire going and plenty of it, and they didn't know fire.
So I lost it, you take off your shoes that time?
You didn't have to take off your shoes or relatives either.
No,
yes. No one might.
Another thing back around your place that time, for the famous place, because the GA field was near, and everyone was passing down the house. Going down to the field.
Yes.
Your father gave a field to the GA, to the great field.
Yeah.
So the people didn't do it up and keep it because it was one of the best fields in the parish. Dry.
Well, it made history for Kilgarvan. They won their first round championship in 1953 in playing in that field.
But going back to the championship, you have two us. You weren't on the first year, you were too young. We moved to, there are only very few of you alive now that won the championship medal with the famous hurling team. Only of you are alive.
I was working in the Great Southern Hotel in Kilmere for it was £3 a fortnight. My mother was going to collect it for bring home messages for to feed the rest of the family. She collected once, I'd get that, I had nothing. And walk around and do the same chores day and night, that's a fact, right? I walk in the kitchen there, and there were two lovely ladies, Miss Coughlin was the manager, and Miss Nolan was the assistant manager. And because I was so young, I was kept in the hotel itself. And they'd say me how to do the breakfast in the morning, cook the breakfast in the morning, the cook didn't have to come in that early. Well, everything was laid out. And there was a big cooker, and everything was in trays, and we put them in at a certain time. And at the time the cooker arrived, everything was cooked for the breakfast for the guests in the morning. They turned hotel in Kilmere.
Tis all showers now. How did people wash themselves long ago?
My dear man, there was no disease, or there was no doctors, or dentists, and all knew what a doctor was, no more than people knew what a bank was or anything like that. But you know, you should water in the bottom of the table. You washed your head and your hands and your shaved or whatever it was. You never washed your ass or did wash your feet. Yes?
Yeah.
They were not showering more than you in the night, and they have every disease and colds and coughs and you name it. They know what to call it. Their immune system has gone down from the height of performing
antibiotics.
All these old modern things that shouldn't be put next to near our skin.
Food.
But they were, people were so healthy that time. Doctors don't know where the doctor lived.
Your brother got killed in an accident then very young. He was a fine man like yourself. Penny. I tell you about that accident now, as well as well. There was a dance up in Cheese, the holiday night of the 8th of December. 1960. 1960, yes. And Patrick was driving, I got rest of all, he was driving a car, a Volkswagen car, belonged to Tom Randall's in the village, right? And there was 7 of them inside the Volkswagen car, as far as I remember. There was that time the battery in the car in that car were only a 6-volt battery. Couldn't show you. A good flash lamp would be better than it. And coming from the dance would be on December the 9th. They like the dance on December the 8th. Coming home at holy day that time.
Exactly. After 12 o'clock, whatever it was. And a particular gentleman was in front of him coming down car. We won't mention any names. Was in front of him coming down car. There was a lorry driving for Kilgarvan. And he got a punctured tyre or a punctured something. And he had to leave his lorry. The road was very narrow there at Kilgarvan East, what they call it, right?
John George Leeson's.
Yes, Kilgarvan, right. And as I come down the hill, it was a straight road. And the car in front was driving, and my brother was driving the thing behind him. And there was 7 women packed into this little Volkswagen car, a flash lamp light. And there was no room for 2 cars. It was a lorry, 2 cars, but there was about 4 feet of a grass margin. And a big fall inside it, and maybe about 3 feet of a road. So the car in front of him pulled in, from the shape where he was, and my brother was straight under the back of the lorry, and 3 was killed. My brother, our neighbour, we don't know, and poor Sean Doyle was killed in that, and an accident that should never have happened. If the man in front of it was going down, wouldn't if there was no cow in a car on the road to the stair, would you put on your flashlights to stop the man behind you? But anyway.
They said in She's dance hall went down after that. It didn't do no more good.
It had nothing to do with in She's dance hall. There was piss shows by some people that religion, you know the shitting that people got mad, they were mad in fucking religion, as there's some unity still mad in religion. Because the local parish priests refused to bless the hall. What in the name of God did they want blessing the hall for? Do you understand me?
Yeah.
We'll take it for that. There was big dancing over in Tralee at the time, the big banjos come there, and someone came up with the idea that the devil was dancing in the hall of the might be the Grand, what they call the hall, the Grand Hotel, is it? The Brandon, I think from the Brandon Hotel. There were big dances and big crowds there, and someone came to me that the devil was dancing in the hall. You see it? The priests were against dancing. No dancing on Easter, 7 weeks of Easter. Lent, what we call it, no dancing whatsoever. And everyone had to go and do the stations of the cross. You had to go to confession once a month. That was paramount, that was part of it. My mother told us they lived 9 miles up in Denley as we go up to the house and go off a by a road. So there was 5 or 6 of them in the family. The old horse had to be tackled, and the old horse and car come 9 miles down to the church and to the yard for confession. The women were on one side, and the men were on the other side. And they take all day, and they get into the bloody horse carrying and go 9 miles up the mountain, up to Glenlea. Come down again the following day, she used to tell us, for the receive, you fasting for 12 o'clock the night before, in an old horse and car, and send it all happening to go down wheels, you understand? Yeah, and go, and for 11 o'clock mass, there was no first mass that time. And there was a whole hour on to it. And the priest had they full control of the people, you understand. But anyway, and go back up again. And the name of the Almighty God above in heaven, that's the way people were controlled. Could I say something to you? No, Joe, God rest her soul, said to me, my wife, she said, Tom, we have to believe in something that we're no different to the animals. So we believe that the man above there. But religion, there was no religion, took all control of people. I asked a person the other day, came up a conversation about 7 years to be a priest. How could it take you 7 years to be a priest? How long would it take you to the people with good intellect up here to be trained we call it to fly the aeroplane, pilots? And how long then would it take?
I suppose it take a few years, innit?
We'll take 2 years. 7 years to become a priest. Why would it take us 7 years to become a priest? Someone might explain to me.
You'd have to have money, the family.
Back then?
Well, if we didn't do business out far, no, 7 years. I said to someone there a couple of years, they came up in conversation, I said, I don't go to mass, and they said, very young person said, my prayers at home, and best of all, fuck the rest of them, they're now there talking, chatting about people, when. Anyway, 7 years to become a priest. And I said to myself, 7 years to become a priest. Did you ever see a priest say mass and read out of a book? He have this big book, and then something in art, the way to be talking page for him. And he read out the book, damn, dignusum, there you are. It's a fact, right? Yeah, right there, and then showed out of this thing, and he read it out of a book. Did you ever see a priest? 7 years, sure he said off by heart after 7 years, don't he?
Yeah.
But I tell you, they were well brainwashed how to control the people from the day before they were born until the day they put you into the grave. That was their control.
You're not religious, sir?
I am religious, yes.
But you don't go to mass?
I don't want to go to mass now. But you will have to go to mass to be religious.
Yeah.
I can do that for nothing.
Going back to
I don't talk about the neighbours or anybody else. I mind my own bloody business.